That game was on
ahead of ourselves.
Ramon Stallings, the head coach of Crispus Attucks. In his first year, he had stints at North Central as well as Indianapolis Arlington, which he was a head coach there back in 2012, only spent one season at the helm as head coach, and now back again as a head coach with Attucks, looking for his first win of the season in their first game of the season. Again, Attucks unable to play last week, and now they're getting their first game underway in week 2. We mentioned earlier Heritage Christian and Shenandoah, they are in action. Indiana SRN has that game covered. You can watch that live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Shenandoah did score, but they're still down 27-7 as the third quarter is starting to wind down. Also another score, Indiana SRN was at Newcastle tonight, and the Trojans are all over Tenley, 41-0. And that game has yet to go to halftime. They're still in the second quarter there. So it's going to be a long night for the fans of Newcastle and Tenley.
Yeah.
Although Newcastle will enjoy the win.
Yeah, and again, it's basically Tenley just having to pick themselves off the mat a little bit here going into week 3. A short week for them, I believe. And again, it's just going to be really difficult to see as, once again, we are within the last 2 minutes here of the warm-up session before the second half starts. And you can kind of see it on the Tiger sideline here, Jared, is the fact that they are very loose with how they're playing on and off the field. You know, they're sitting around, joking around, while all well and good, and they've been able to kind of keep that team chemistry going here in their first half of the 2020 season. And again, a season that we didn't know 3 weeks ago if we were even going to have.
And a 7-3 mark last year also. That was under a different head coach for Attucks. And now Ramon Stallings coming in, trying to capitalize off of that season they had last year, which ended in a second-round loss of the sectional to Indianapolis Roncalli, 45-14. And so far, Caleb Davenport, the quarterback, senior quarterback for the Tigers, he's been responsible for all 4 touchdowns, 2 of them through the air and 2 of them on the ground. So Gary Westside will have to make note of Caleb Davenport and the ability he has to run the football from the quarterback position. As this clock is starting to wind down, the third quarter is getting closer to start. Looks like Crispus Attucks will be on the receiving end of this kick to start the second half, and Gary Westside will bring the kicking group out onto the field.
Yeah, and again, the Tigers coming off of a 7-3 record, including a 27-26 victory over these Cougars a season ago up in Gary Westside. The coach that last year was Abe Tafik, and he was the one that led the Tigers to back-to-back winning seasons here after going 6-4 in 2018, including a opening round playoff loss to Indian Creek. Then they get moved up to 4A, and they were able to beat at Beech Grove 35-28 before, as Jarrett mentioned, falling to a Ron Colley team that has historically been very good, 45-14. So again, for only the fourth year at that time in Tigers program that they've had football.
Here's an onside kick, and Gary Westside tried.
Should be a penalty
to get it, and yeah, there's no penalty out yet. They did touch it before 10 yards. And looks Crispus Attucks is not sure if they're going to mark any yards off for a penalty, but right now they're going to have the ball spotted at the 48 of Gary West.
Gary Westside thinks that they have the football.
And referees they're trying to talk it over too, trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay, so even though the ball didn't go 10 yards, Attucks is going to retain possession of it. Very interesting. That I'll have to get together with a couple of referees and see the ruling on that because, like you said, Jared, normally that's a penalty if it doesn't go 10 yards. But, again, that's why we're up here and they're down here. And, again, this could just be a thing of everybody having to knock off the rust of this early season.
Well, Attucks will take over at the 48 grid field position to begin the second half. It's a counter run, and there's plenty of room on this side. He's going to go all the way. Crispus
but there's
Attucks
a penalty flag on the field. Now, while it's a touchdown here for Attucks,
called a touchdown.
The penalty was thrown on the very far sideline.
Illegal substitution against Attucks.
Illegal substitution against the Crispus Attucks Tigers. Touchdown.
That's the third touchdown that has been negated due to penalty for the Tigers.
What a killer that penalty is, and it's going to push them back now. Set up a first and long. It wipes off the touchdown, and the running back for Crispus Attucks had all the room in the world. He wasn't even touched, not even at the line of scrimmage. He went all the way to the end zone untouched, and unfortunately it's negated by the penalty.
First down and 25.
First down and 25, a hefty penalty for Attucks to endure. Now Davenport in the backfield. Split backs. To give up the middle, it's going to gain only a few yards.
So, again, they run the same play to the opposite side of the field, hoping to gain the same result, instead being able to only pick up a few yards.
Second down upcoming. Second down and 22. Crispus Attucks. Two receivers on the near side, one on the far. Split backfield again. And the snap, it's another handoff. Trying to make his way through. He's breaking a few tackles out to midfield.
So good running play there for the Tigers back-to-back after only a pickup of two, able to pick up most of the penalty yardage that was there, and it's going to be 3rd and long here with 10:34 left to go in the third quarter of play.
So 3rd and 12. What will the Tigers do here? They've ran it every play so far.
Here's the bigger question. If they don't pick it up here, do they go for it on 4th down, or do they punt the ball away?
Davenport in the pistol, looking to pass. Man over the middle, catches it on the slant, gets away from the first guy. He's going to have the first down. Huge pickup. Davenport found Keisham Cox for a 12-yard pickup and a first down.
And again, great ability to look downfield by Davenport and able to pick up the first down yardage there by Cox. He caught it a few yards short of the first down marker and was just able to turn upfield and gain those yards that he needed to before being brought down by 2 to 3 Cougars.
New set of downs now. Crispus Attucks in Gary West territory at the 34. Split backs again. Another handoff up the middle. It's going to be a decent pickup for the Tigers, close to the first down marker.
Going to be a gain of 8, so it's going to be 2nd down and 2. And once again, just nice little handoff dive play for the Tigers, able to pick up a big chunk of yards.
Ball will be placed on the 26. Crispus Attucks is
Looks like DeAndre Harrington in at running back for Attucks. He's gotten a few of these handoffs this drive so far. Second down and just 2. Snap gets over the head of Davenport. He's going to have to take it himself. He's going to get to the edge on the near sideline, splits 2 defenders, and makes the third one miss before taking it into the end zone. Caleb Davenport, oh my goodness.
He is one special player. Once again, a high snap goes over his head, and he's able to, instead of turn it into a disaster, he's able to turn it into 6 with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the evening.
My goodness, Caleb Davenport, and he's not that big of a, he is 6'1", 210 for a quarterback, so you do like the size on him. It's hard to tell from up here, but my goodness. Bulldozing through a couple defenders and then making the third guy miss before taking it into the end zone. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. And now Attucks will go for the 2-point conversion again. Another high snap, but Davenport, his slant route isn't going to find his receiver. So that 2-point conversion fails, but still, Crispus Attucks comes out for their first drive, and they extend the lead 34-8 with 8:27 left in the first quarter. You're watching this game on Indiana SRN.
Hey, it's Keith Myers from Indiana Sports Radio Network. Well, thank you that you're watching the game tonight on Indiana SRN. If you would like to know more information about Indiana SRN, send me an email, coach@indianasrn.org. As vice president of this company, we hope that you sit back and enjoy the game. It's Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
More fixing, more finding, more being original. Unique like this, trendy like that. More designing this, arranging that. More saving, and then more making it happen. More of your space looking like this, and more of you feeling like that. More excitement, more savings, more furniture, more rugs, more flooring, more affordable luxury from RG Decor.
Welcome back to Northwest Middle School. Attucks just extended their lead. It's now 34-8. And that kickoff to the Gary West Cougars. They get the ball up to around the 40-yard line, and that's where they'll begin
Looks like Jalen Smith,
their next drive.
of that kickoff. Gary Westside will be marching toward the south end zone.
Well, Caleb Davenport, Justin,
Ball will be placed.
doesn't have very many rushing attempts, but he's made the most of them, including 41 yards, a touchdown, 55 yards, a touchdown. He had a 10-yard rush as well, and then that 27-yard rush that we just saw to put them up 34-8.
Yeah, and I mean, Davenport, he's done it. He's done it with his legs, obviously, and he's done it through his arm. All 5 of the Attucks scores have been through Davenport in one way or another. I don't know how you really count the 4th one because it was a completion then a fumble, but as it is, it started with Davenport.
And the handoff to Terrell only picks up 1 yard on the play.
A pickup of about 1 yard for Gary Westside. Second down and 9.
Second down and 9 now coming up, and the play clock or the playbook for Gary Westside doesn't seem very wide. We've seen a lot of gives to Terrell. Sean Williams has also had action at running back, but when it comes to Dante Pope, looking back to pass, there hasn't been very many options for him. And now we have a snap that rolls back to his legs, and he just has to fall on it.
Yeah, I think the snap actually hit the center there a little bit as he was trying to get it up. And that, you know, people think, oh, how can that happen if you're the center? You know, being able to get that ball up into the air out of a shotgun formation is more difficult than what it is because you can't really see where that quarterback's going to be, and you just have to make sure that you're there every single time. And it will get there with the with all the reps of the practice that Gary Westside will have here, as we are getting dangerously close here, Jarrett, to the running clock rule that was implemented last year. Where if you're up by 35 or more, then the clock runs regardless of score or out of bounds. It only stops for injury timeouts and change of possession.
And 9 more points scored by Attucks would put it right at 35, so it'd be a 2-score game. Here's a long pass. It's going to be hauled in. Pope finds his man. That ball hung in the air, and it's brought down. He's finally tackled right around the 20-yard line, and that was C.J. Brown on the reception.
And again, nice. Pope was able to get a little bit more pressure or time here in the pocket, as you see, and he just uncorks it. And bad defensive placement there by the defensive backs for Attucks. That's happened on a couple of different times with the deep ball for them. They're just not in the right coverage, and Gary Westside's been able to capitalize on both attempts.
Pope has hung a few balls up in the air like that, and one of them ended up being picked off, but that one resulted in a 45-yard gain.
And it is that you might be able to see the chains are
yeah, we mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. The chains had been set up facing the wrong direction, and they're like that again. So now referees have to stop play and make sure those are all fixed up.
But yeah, so it's the play doesn't. The play counts. It was a no gain play, and it's going to be second down for Gary Westside.
Inside the 20. The give was to Terrell. The ball's on the floor. We'll see. And it looks like Gary Westside, they're going to keep the possession, thankfully for them.
Yeah, the head referee there signaled Gary Westside ball relatively quickly, and it was the right call. But with it being third down and 13, this is obviously 4-down territory for the Cougars of west side of Gary.
Third down and 13 for the Gary Westside Cougars.
Here's a third down and long situation from the 20. Pope looking downfield, throwing it up to the corner of the end zone. Jump ball. Did he bring it down? He did. Oh, my goodness. He brought it down with 3 defenders around him. Pope finds Terrell.
Penalty
for the
flag is
touchdown.
down, and it's going to be a penalty against Attucks. It's roughing the passer. So
Touchdown, Gary Westside.
the touchdown's going to stand for Gary Westside.
And that gives Kamaje Terrell his second touchdown of the evening, and they have both come through the air from Dante Pope. That one a 21-yard pass and catch, and he did it with 3 Attucks defenders draped all over him. Pope flushed out of the pocket, and that one's going to fall at the legs of his intended receiver, so the 2-point conversion falls no good. However, Gary Westside does cut into the lead. It's now a 20-point deficit, with Attucks leading 34-14 with 5 1/4 left to play in the third. Come back for more third quarter action right here on Indiana SRN.
Every day, Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling keeps Hoosiers comfortable at home. When you see our bright orange trucks on the road or in your neighborhood, you know the Summers tradition of trust is alive and well. We deliver essential services where you need them, when you need them. We're trusted for quality service at fair prices. Plus, we do what it takes to keep you safe in a time like this. Just call Summers and enjoy the season at home in comfort.
Thanks for joining us here on Indiana SRN. The Indianapolis Crispus Attucks Tigers find themselves with a 20-point lead. Although Dante Pope hooks up with Kamaje Terrell again, Terrell reels in his 4th reception, and this time it's his 2nd touchdown catch. And Justin, I don't know how he caught it, because he had 3 defenders all over him.
And I mean, it was good defense by Attucks as soon as the ball was in the air. And, you know, those jump ball situations always, you know, throws me back to the Fail Mary back in 2013 with the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers. It looks like Gary Westside's going to try an onside kick here. Once again, the ball is laying sideways, so yeah, this is definitely going to be an onside kick. Let's see if Westside can get the ball to go 10 yards here.
The ball would have to get to the 50-yard line for Attucks to try and recover, and they do. It gets to their 48-yard line, and another failed onside kick attempt from Gary Westside.
So, once again, great starting field position for the Tigers. I don't think they've started with anything less than their own 40-yard line is, I think, the worst field position that they started at in this game.
Caleb Davenport leading his Tigers back out onto the field with a 20-point lead. He was 5 of 13 passing in the first half for 100 yards passing and 4 rushing attempts for 100 yards rushing. He's added a few more yards in the second half now after that touchdown run last drive, and here's a give. Carrying the defender with him is the running back for Crispus. It's a pickup of 6 yards.
And again, that ball, he was stopped right as he received the handoff, and just brute strength was able for him to move 6 yards and make it 2nd and 4 for the Tigers. As a towel is being picked up by the referee, getting dislodged there by the offensive line.
2 receivers both sides for the Tigers. It's another give. And he's wrestled behind the line of scrimmage. He's trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose a couple yards on the play. Demarion Newell in on the stop for Gary Westside, hitting him behind the offensive line.
Yeah, and again, Crane was just able to, you know, once again, he gets hit as he receives the handoff, so not ideal formation, and instead of being able to go forward this time around, he is dragged backwards. Forward progress moves only for a 3-yard loss.
Here's a 3rd down and 7. Davenport overthrows his intended target. Looked like Antoine Hicks had the slant from the far side.
Just a little bit too high from Davenport to Hicks, and it's going to bring 4th and 6 here, and it looks like the Tigers are going to punt away the football.
Crispus Attucks will be punting away the football.
Whoa.
And now we have some whistles.
Well, the referee moved it back to 4th and 10 instead of 4th and 6. Again, rust being evident here by these referees, and again, the Tigers not having the right formation. So we finally get everybody situated here with 3:45 left to go. Good punt.
This punt fielded at the 20. It's muffed, but Gary Westside still able to fall on it. But a good punt puts the Cougars well back in their own territory at the 20-yard line. Another note about the officials is there's no head referee. Well, there is a head referee, but he doesn't have the white hat on.
Yeah.
So we've tried to locate him a few times for calls, and we just so happen to see him give the signal for whatever the call is, but he had no white hat on. Here's a give up the middle that'll pick up about 2 yards for Terrell. That's his 16th carry of this evening.
2nd down, ball will be placed on the 22.
Yeah, and I mean, again, short gain there by the Gary Westside Cougars, and able to make it 2nd down and reasonable here going forward.
Just 30 yards rushing so far for Terrell as Pope gets that one away, but his receiver is immediately met.
And again,
for a loss.
Pope was lucky to get that ball away as he tried to fake the handoff, and the running back tried to take the ball away from him. So miscommunication on the play call there as the ball popped up in the air. Pope was able, luckily, to recover it while it was in the air and make that completion for a loss of only 2.
Dante Pope, just 10 pass attempts. He's completed 7 of them for a little over 100 yards, and he's looking for another one here. Down the field, he's got his receiver, the defender. Oh, he comes down with the interception. He's going to take it the other way. Down the far sideline, he's going to be wrestled down around the 20-yard line.
Little razzle-dazzle there by the Tigers, as that was a one-handed interception by the Tigers, and it's going to be 1st and 10 right where where it's 1st and 10 for the Cougars, except they're going north, not south. So the ball is going to be placed at the 20-yard line. Once again, the Tigers being in the Cougar red zone.
I believe Diego Pettiford of Crispus Attucks came down with the interception. Didn't know if he had it at first. Almost thought that the Gary Westside player came down with the reception, but Diego put his right arm back and came down with the pick and a good return out to the Gary West 20-yard line. Davenport has his slant over the middle, and that pass may have fallen incomplete.
I was more concerned with the referee that had to hit the deck off of that pass play. The referee does rule it incomplete, but that was a good heads-up play by the referee heading, as that was a rocket by Davenport.
Those slant patterns have been run for most of this game from Crispus Attucks. Middle of the field kind of left wide open from Gary Westside. What will Davenport come up with here? 2nd down. He's got 2 receivers both sides. Had the hitch route wide open right at the 1st down marker. Still carrying the pile is Wanza Robinson. And he's going to pick up a first down, a gain of about 8 yards on the connection, Davenport and Robinson.
It's going to be enough for the first down, but again, the referee's not really giving forward progression there. I guess by their judgment, the momentum has shifted or has stopped. Good call by the referees. It's going to be first and goal just inside the 10-yard line for the Tigers. So while they can score a touchdown, they cannot pick up first down, and that's going to be critical here. Let's see what Davenport has in his hat here.
Ball spotted around the 9-yard line. Attucks threatening to score again. Davenport with the give. Harrington hit at the line of scrimmage, tried to bounce off a few guys, but he couldn't escape. The second and the third defender. So Harrington ends up losing a yard on the run. Actually, he might have lost 2 yards as the ball's now outside the 10-yard line. Right at the 11.
With a minute left to go in this third quarter of play, we've seen 6 points on each side for these teams, but the Tigers are threatening here.
Davenport in the gun. 5-step drop. Looking to pass. Back shoulder. He comes down with it.
Touchdown.
And they're going to call it a touchdown. Looks like Wanza Robinson comes down with the touchdown reception, although there is a penalty marker down.
It might be. It's pass interference. Let's see who it's going to be on.
Now
the Tigers think it's going to be on Gary Westside. Westside hasn't really signaled one way or another. It is against Westside. Penalty is going to be declined. Touchdown, Tigers.
And that is the second touchdown. Actually, Keyshawn Cox came down with the reception. Wanza Robinson not in the area. So Cox comes away with his third catch and his first touchdown of the night.
40-13 here just before the fourth quarter of play is set to start here. We still have 41 seconds here left in the third. And it has been a very interesting Tigers team here early on.
And Attucks ran out of the huddle quickly, trying to catch Gary Westside off, trying to catch them sleeping. But the bubble pass falls incomplete, so the two-point conversion is no good. Although Caleb Davenport has another touchdown throw. This time it's Keyshawn Cox, a 12-yard reception to extend the lead back to 26. It's 40-14. You're watching Crispus Attucks football on Indiana SRN.
Life comes at you fast, so it's important to have some help along the way.
Ah, my favorite patient. Ah, my favorite patient.
When the dust settles, it doesn't always end as anticipated. Embrace the journey and care for the ones around you.
My favorite patient.
For everything else and every stage in between,
my favorite patient.
Methodist Sports Medicine is here for you.
Page, plenty of games from the past that you can rewatch, and also some live games, including a couple tonight. We're here at Northwest Middle School for Attucks and Gary Westside. Tigers kick this one away to the Cougars, and here's a good return over the middle of the field out to the 45-yard line for Gary Westside. So good starting field position for them as we are now under a minute to play in this third quarter.
Yeah, and again, the Attucks Tigers looking to kind of start well defensively. Offensively, you know, it's kind of opposite of what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a very defensive game to start for the Tigers, but no, Davenport said, look at our offense here. Indiana SRN. They know they're on TV tonight, and they've stepped up here for their opening game of the season.
Give to Terrell. Stop by
Terrell with
Crispus
another
Attucks.
carry.
That'll bring up second
Just 2
down.
yards on the pickup. Looked like there was a nice hole from initially.
And again, just the swarm of the Tigers defensively have been there all game. You're right, there was a nice hole there, but quickly gobbled up.
Dante Pope now looking to pass, and he throws it right to the defender's hands. Another interception, and he might take this one all the way, and he will. A pick six for Crispus Attucks.
Crispus Attucks.
And what a way to end the third quarter of
Your
play.
Flying Tigers, bringing your score to 46-14.
Trying to
That will
trying to
conclude
see
the third quarter.
who that is for
Conversion
Crispus
to
Attucks.
ensue.
Again, those numbers are hard to see from way up here, but it looks like Dante Pope, the quarterback for the Cougars, just never saw the Crispus Attucks defender, and he threw it right into his hands.
Yeah, it was a simple jump route. Attucks jumped the route and was able to pick it off and take it to the house. Great play there by Attucks, as
It's like Jamel Peters. He was on the end of that. Number 11 for Crispus Attucks, a senior.
Placed on the 3-yard line.
He just stood there and he said, "Thank you very much. I'll take this the rest of the way."
Davenport takes the snap, rolling for pressure, and the pass is going to fall incomplete.
Pass incomplete. 2-point conversion.
Another 2-point conversion comes up short,
And at the end of the
but that
third,
lead
your Crispus
gets
Attucks
extended
Tigers 46.
as time ran out. Jamel Peters, the senior defensive back for Crispus Attucks, comes away with a pick six to extend this lead to 46-14. Attucks running away with this one.
Crispus Attucks
You're watching
46.
this game on
Gary
Indiana
Westside
SRN.
14.
Life Centers offers love and compassion to all women and men who come through our 8 centers. The goal of this love and compassion is that we would not only save babies from abortion, but also transform lives and create families. The forms of this love and compassion are our services. All of our services are offered free of charge to our clients. To learn more about Life Centers, contact us at lifecenters.com or call us at 317-280-2635. Life Centers. We choose compassion.
You might be watching this game on YouTube on Indiana SRN's YouTube channel. If you're not, make sure you take note of that. You can watch games live on YouTube, courtesy of Indiana SRN. Here's this kickoff from Crispus Attucks, fielded at the 25. Gary Westside across the 40 to about the 42-yard line.
Just a couple of score updates here as we get ready to start the fourth quarter of play. Heritage Christian up 41-14 over Shenandoah. Brownsburg has gone final on ESPN2. Brownsburg prevails over San Xavier 30-24.
Lucky Dogs get to play on ESPN.
Pun intended.
That's right. Bulldogs of Brownsburg. We have Tigers and Cougars playing here tonight. Here's a 6-yard run.
Carried by number 2, Terrell.
Terrell again on the carry.
It'll be second down and 4.
His longest carry of the night so far has only been 7 yards. So for the most part, the Crispus Attucks run defense has been there to stop the star player for the Cougars.
Yeah, and I mean, Pryor has been a tough cat to bring down a couple of different times, and but Attucks has done good to not enforce it to over 10 yards a carry for him.
Pope out of the pistol. It's another give to Terrell. He bounced it out left side, makes a few guys miss, and then a
And now
spin move
Sir
across the
Stinks.
40.
announcers jinx, say something, and it's inevitably the opposite's going to happen, as that was a pickup for 12.
Cougars from West Side.
The longest carry of the night so far for Kamaje Terrell, just a sophomore, is the Cougars running back. Another give to him. Here's a big hole. Starts left and then brings it back right. Gets close to the 30-yard line.
Brought down by a host of Crispus Attucks Tigers.
So a good string of runs here so far for Terrell. He's had 6, 12, and now looks like 6 again on that carry.
3rd and 2 for the Cougars from West Side.
We'll give Terrell 7 yards. So now it's 2nd and 3. Pope trying to maybe catch the Tigers to jump off sides. It's another give to Terrell. Not much on the run, but it will pick up another first down.
And once again, nice play call by Gary Westside. Just getting reps in as the clock's going to stop for the chains momentarily. So as we get closer and closer to the 9-minute mark here in the fourth quarter.
Pope, again, this time Terrell met quickly in the backfield. A loss of 2 yards on the play, and
Second down for West Side.
a guy there to meet him. I believe was Tony Wooten.
It was indeed. He was able to get there as soon as the running back caught the ball. And again, big play there by
number 11, Noah
Brinich, who was the one who intercepted the ball last drive for the Tigers. And now we're at 3rd down and long to go for the Cougars.
Nice back-to-back plays by the Tigers defense. Tony Wooden and Noah Brimage have forced this 3rd and long now, facing Gary West. Pope in the pistol has trip receivers to his left. And he's going to throw over there, and pass is going to fall incomplete.
No, again, those bubble screens close to a backwards pass, they are going to roll incomplete. Let's see what the flag is all about.
It was thrown by the farthest judge, who he had the best look at the play happening right in front of him. And so now,
is it a legal shift against Westside? If so, that
it looks like a illegal formation called on Gary Westside. So that penalty declined by Attucks, and now it'll bring up a 4th down and a no-doubter for Gary Westside to go for it.
Yeah, with 8 minutes left to play in the ball game and you're down by 32, you definitely have to go for it here.
4th and 13. Pope looking to pass. Going to air it way downfield, and he has his receiver caught at the 10 and brought out of bounds around the 6-yard line.
And that is just the defender playing the interception and not playing the ball, or playing the ball and not the man, as he was going for the interception, and now instead it's a big-time gain, and it's going to be 1st and goal for the Westside Cougars.
Andre Johnson reeling in that catch, his 2nd of the night, and it's a 25-yard pickup down to the 5-yard line. Pope with the handoff up the middle. Terrell may have picked up 2 yards on the carry. Gary Westside trying to cut back into this lead again. It might be too little too late, down 32 with 7 minutes left to go.
And again, Westside just taking time, just getting reps in here. as they hand the ball off once again, and it's going to be close to the goal line. No signal yet. Going to mark him down.
Bringing up third down. The ball will be placed on the 2.
Terrell again with the carry. That's his 25th carry of this night, and he's had 8 carries on this drive alone.
So 3rd and 2.
Another give to Terrell, and Crispus Attucks sniffed that one quickly.
Sniffed that out by the Tigers.
They tackled him in the back of the line of scrimmage.
That was a loss of yardage on the play.
It's like a loss of maybe 1, so now here's a 4th down. It's just been straight give to Terrell for most of this drive. And now what will Coach Eric Schreiber and his Cougars do here, 4th down?
You almost have to play action pass here because the running game obviously isn't going to get it done here. Maybe a quick slant route or a curl into the end zone. Let's see what happens here for Pope.
Pope has 3 receivers to his left and Terrell behind him. Pope looking to pass. The freshman loses the ball, and it hits the ground.
West Side recovers, but since it was 4th down, it's Attucks' ball regardless.
So just like that, Gary Westside threatening to score again after the connection to Andre Johnson on the near sideline, but a big defensive stand by Crispus Attucks, and they force the fumble and the turnover on downs.
And once again, 5:27 left to go. Running clock now here for the remainder of this ball game. With a 32-point lead, it's going to be very interesting to see how much, as there's going to be actually a timeout. Attucks.
Officials timeout.
Attucks does indeed call the timeout, and we'll take a quick one too. Tigers with the 32-point lead, 5 minutes left to go in the 4th.
Parents, do you like free food? Hike it on over to Prodigy Burger and Bar, where Monday is family night and kids eat free. Every day you can find daily specials featuring craft burgers, tacos, wings, and more. Prodigy is now playing the NFL Sunday Ticket on more than 25 TVs, so you won't miss a second of your favorite teams. Prodigy also caters, hosts private events, as well as dine and donates. Celebrate your school spirit with us at Prodigy Burger and Bar. More than just burgers, located in Clay Terrace in Carmel.
Don't miss any of the action when you tune in to Indiana SRN. Find us on YouTube at Indiana SRN. Watch games from the past as well as live football action. We are in week 2. It's technically week 1 for Crispus Attucks, being their first game of the season, and it certainly hasn't looked like it's been their first game of the season so far.
They've looked very impressive here, really dominating the entire ball game from the word go. They fell behind a little bit early at, it's tough to think about here, Jarrett. They were actually trailing 8-6, and now they scored 40 points since that margin while holding Westside to only 6 themselves.
And they scored 22 unanswered going into halftime. It was 28-8, and now they find themselves with a 32-point cushion. Under 5 to play, just a simple give up the middle, breaking a few tackles is the Tiger running back to an 11-yard gain.
And once again, just a nice little handoff run to run the clock. Good job staying in bounds for the time being.
4 minutes
and now as we
6 seconds left.
get here, as the chains are still slow to get caught up.
First down for your Crispus Attucks Tigers.
Clock continues to run.
22-yard line.
Now the clock starts to wind down, closing in on 4.5 minutes. Tigers will have 2 backs in the backfield with Davenport. Davenport clearly the player of the game.
Yeah,
tonight.
no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
He's been responsible for 5 of the 6 touchdowns. The only one he's not been responsible for was the pick 6 by Peters. And that was their last touchdown. Here's a pickup of 5 yards.
As he picks up yardage, tackle by number 24.
And once again, just nice, methodical drive here starting out for the Tigers. As once again, a little bit... Here's where the confusion and the week 1 jitters get to the Tigers. Substitute confusion here late. I'm surprised it took them this long to have the confusion here, Jarrett.
Now they're finally getting out of their huddle, and they have 5 seconds on the play clock. Davenport sees it, and he gives to his running back. Nice hole opened up, and another first down is going to get picked up for the Tigers.
And once again, just a simple dive play up the middle, and they've been able to pick up 5, 6, 7 yards a carry off of that play.
New set of downs. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line. Crispus Attucks just trying to milk the rest of this time left on the clock. 3 minutes left to go. Here's another give to Harrington. This time he is met by 3 or 4 Cougars, and it's going to be a loss this time.
And things have finally started to get a little bit chippy as the Cougars brought him down. And then on the other side of things, the Tigers, one of the Tigers' offensive linemen blocked the dude 15 yards down the field.
Some second-teamers most likely going to finish out the rest of this one for both teams. Crispus Attucks in their first game of the season comes on a Saturday in week 2. Another give to Harrington. He gains back some of that lost yardage and then some. About a 4-yard pickup. Set up a 3rd down and 8.
And again, just the pure domination by Crispus Attucks to be able to come off after an extended break and be able to put up a good showing against Gary Westside after it was a very close matchup last year. Again, 27-26 was the final score. Able to put up 46 on them here tonight, and it is going to take the play clock all the way down.
Here's a keeper for Crispus Attucks, and that'll bring up a 4th down situation with just under a minute left to play in this one.
8 yards to go.
So they are going to have to snap the ball one more time. A 20-second difference between play clock and game clock.
Left to go in the game.
So again, if you're Attucks, you take this all the way down. You might even consider taking a penalty here, Jarrett.
They'll let the play clock wind down. It'll be about 20. Actually, they'll punt it right now.
Again, very good punt by Attucks.
And the Gary Westside player comes in to field it at the 35-yard line.
6-yard line.
So the clock will only stop for the change of possession. And once the chains get set, the clock will run. 21 seconds left to go in this game. And again, Attucks is going to come away with the victory. First victory of the 2020 season for the Tigers. First victory of Coach Stallings' career for them as well.
Coach Stallings, win number 1, and it came from a lot of help from the senior quarterback, Caleb Davenport. He finishes the night only 7 of 16 for 123 yards, but 2 of those completions result in touchdowns, and then 3 touchdowns on the ground. That'll do it the clock hits 0. The Crispus Attucks Tigers have opened up their season in week 2 with their first game of the season, 46-14 over the Gary Westside Cougars. And the PA announcer giving a nice shout out to Coach Stallings, who picks up his first win of the season, and it'll hopefully be one of many. And when you look at that last season mark, they set a 7-3 season. A new coach coming in, and Coach Stallings, that's a way to get a good start and hopefully get a season like they did last year, possibly better than the 7-3 mark.
Yeah, and I mean, the biggest thing here for Crispus Attucks was able to get off to a fast start, and that's exactly what they're going to be needing here coming into week 2, week 3 overall against, I believe, Covenant Christian, who last night absolutely dominated Rushville with this final score of 68-6, and then the week before beating Jennings County 52-14. So the Warriors of Covenant Christian host the Crispus Attucks Tigers on September 4th. That is Friday night. Quick turnaround for the Tigers.
And it's going to be a much tougher opponent also in Covenant Christian. So we'll be looking forward to that game next week. But in the meantime, Crispus Attucks will enjoy the victory, 46-14 over Gary Westside. Gary Westside still looking for their first win of the season. They will fall to 0-2, and next week they will be at Highland. And that, I believe, is a sectional opponent in Highland. So that'll be a very important game.
And our producer, Ben Wood, here from the region, does... Oh, and he's actually from Highland High School.
All right.
Does inform us that that is a sectional game between Westside and Highland. So, once again, showing love to the region as they made the trip down here to the 317. Coming away empty-handed, but a good performance overall, and let's see how they're going to continue their season. Again, tough opponent against Highland.
Also for Crispus Attucks, a few other things. 4 sacks on the night and 2 interceptions. One of them from Wanza Robinson in the first half, and then in the second half, Diego Pettiford got an interception, and then the pick 6 from Jamel Peters. That extended the lead well beyond the reach of Gary Westside and put it out of their grasp. Crispus Attucks, player of the game, no doubt, Caleb Davenport. And look at this, Justin. The first half, Davenport had 100 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, and he had 100 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. To finish the game, he had 123 yards passing and 123 yards rushing.
Yeah, that's something else. I mean, good on him to be able to do that symmetrically in a big-time victory. Once again, first career victory for Coach Stallings, not only for Crispus Attucks, but his first career ever. He is now 1-9 overall, 1-0, where it really counts for the Crispus Attucks Tigers.
So with that, we will wrap things up. Coach Stallings of Crispus Attucks gets his first win. They defeat Gary Westside 46-14. Thanks so much for watching on Indiana SRN, whether you watched live on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Make sure you follow us on all of those platforms. That way you are up to date on all the games that will be coming up next week. We will have plenty of games for you, I'm sure, on Friday. So make sure you tune in and find yourselves a good game to watch. We have a great crew here at SRN.